Today, the full order, the precise sequence from the inner pattern to its physical expression, because understanding the order completely gives the thinker clarity at every stage of the process, not just at the beginning, not just at the end, at every stage. The thinker who knows the full order knows exactly where they are and exactly what is required of them at that precise stage. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 152 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of pattern, the order of pattern. Pause for a moment. 12 days in. The authority of the inner pattern is understood. Today, the full order, the precise sequence from the inner pattern to its physical expression, because understanding the order completely gives the thinker clarity at every stage of the process, not just at the beginning, not just at the end, at every stage. The thinker who knows the full order knows exactly where they are and exactly what is required of them at that precise stage. Pause. The order begins with the pattern itself, the metaphysical pattern within the thought. Already complete, already holding its full physical expression within it. This is the first position, not the goal, the starting point. The pattern does not need to be created. It is already present. The order does not produce the pattern. It begins with the pattern and moves from it. Pause. The second stage is the thinker's return to within. The deliberate movement from engagement with the outer world back to the position within, before conditions have spoken, before the five senses have set the agenda. The thinker moves deliberately to the origin, to the position from which the order can proceed. This is not passive, it is the first active step, the thinker choosing the correct position from which to operate. Thought is within, effect is without, thinking stands between. Pause for a moment. The third stage is the opening of the first sense. From the stillness within, the thinker opens the inner sight, the metaphysical visuality, the direct perceiving of what is within, without the five senses involved, without the report of secondary reality. First sense is the channel through which the pattern is perceived directly. Without first sense, the pattern remains present but unperceived. With first sense open, the pattern is accessible to clear recognition. Pause. The fourth stage is recognition. From the first sense perceiving the pattern within, the thinker recognizes the pattern as real, confirms its completeness, establishes the quiet certainty that does not require external confirmation. Not from conditions, from the direct perception of the first sense. This recognition makes the pattern available to thinking as a precise object. Without clear recognition, thinking has no precise direction. With recognition, the pattern is clear. The fifth stage, the direction of thinking upon the pattern, can proceed. Pause. The fifth stage is active thinking directed upon the pattern. The deliberate, sustained direction of thinking from what is real within, not toward the pattern as something distant, upon the pattern as something present. This is the developmental stage, thinking, acting upon the pattern that is already complete, developing it toward its physical expression. Each act of sustained thinking advances the development. The compounding of thinking across days moves the arc forward, and each return through the day adds to the development of the morning practice. Pause. The sixth stage is the unfolding. When active thinking has sustained its development of the pattern to completion, the pattern unfolds, not because something new was added from without, Not because conditions finally cooperated, because the development reached completion. The pattern does what it was always going to do when development was full. It unfolds. And the seventh stage, physical expression, follows what was entirely within, entirely metaphysical, entirely invisible to the five senses, becomes physically seen. The arc completes. The inner pattern has expressed. Pause. The order does not work in reverse. The thinker cannot begin from physical expression and work backward to produce the pattern. The physical is always secondary, always derived, and the derived cannot produce the primary. The order is fixed. Pattern within, return within, first sense, recognition, active thinking, unfolding, physical expression. Every stage is necessary. Every stage follows the previous, and every stage is available to the thinker who operates from within, in the correct order. Not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed, not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen, but steadfastness, focused. Remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Now, the affirmation for day 152. Pause for a moment. I hold the full order clearly. The pattern is within, already complete. I return within. I open the first sense. I activate metaphysical visuality. I recognize the pattern as real. I direct active thinking upon what has been recognized. I sustain through each day, through the invisible period, through what the five senses report. The order is proceeding. Every stage is in operation. The development is advancing. The unfolding is approaching. The physical expression is the inevitable result of the order completing. Because I am operating in the correct order, from the pattern, from within, and what the order produces must physically express. Remember, by design, by focus,